Okay, it's the 1st of September and I'm ready to do another brew. Today I am making a Hobgoblin clone, which I purchased from Burnley Homebrew. I've purchased different beers from them before, an Old Peculiar and a Old Speckled Hen clone. Both are very good, especially the Old Peculiar. Really looking forward to doing this. Haven't done one for a while. The package should be here in the next hour, I hope. So I'm going to do all my prep. Got to sanitize my equipment, ready to go. See you shortly. Okay, the kit's arrived and I'm ready to go. Now I'm just going to take you through very briefly what you get for your money. Burnley Homebrew are fantastic at these kits. They couldn't make it easier for you. So you get your instruction manual. So as I said earlier, I'm making a Hobgoblin clone. You also have all your grain, which is already measured out. So I don't have to mess around with scales. It's done for me. It's ready to go. It's in its individual packages. You also have your hops. So I've got my bittering hops, and the hops I'm going to add at the last 15 minutes of the boil. Then it comes to your Pro Flock tablet, which is for clarity, and your dry ale yeast, which I will add at the end of the process. As I said before, brilliant kit. Can't wait to get this one going. The last two I've tried have been fantastic. Well worth the money. Okay, so my brew kettle is boiling away. Trying to get up to a temperature between 75 and 80 degrees. One issue I've got is the instructions call for 32 litres of water. Now, I'm not going to get 32 litres of water in my brew kettle. That's just not going to happen. So I'm going for 25. The worst that will happen will be a stronger beer. So oh well. Now, I want to mash in around 64 to 67 degrees, probably around 66, what I'll be aiming for. Again, you can add cold water if it's a little bit on the warm side and vice versa. One issue I've got is I have lost my thermometer, so I'm going to have to use this, which is designed for meat. I've just tested it. It should do the job. Probably not as accurate as what I've previously had, but I'm quite lucky that I've used my boil kettle quite a few times. I know roughly which each setting equates to in terms of temperature, so shouldn't be an issue. Fingers crossed, hopefully all will go wrong. The water is now at 80 degrees, so it's reached my desired temperature. Now going into the mash tun, ready for the mashing process, which takes 90 minutes. If all goes well, we should have a nice smelling wort in an hour and a half. Okay, job done. We're all mashed in. Nice foam on top. Now leave this baby to sit for 90 minutes. Already smelling good. Okay, an hour and a half is up, and I'm just about ready to transport the liquid from my mash tun into my boil kettle. I've got my sparge water heating up and the foam on top. The mash tun has started to decrease, so we're ready to go for the next phase, which will be the boil. So I'm gently siphoning some of the first runnings into a large vessel. Probably take about 4 of these until the water runs completely clear. Lovely colour, dark, smells great, got all the characteristics of a Hobgoblin beer. So let's see. On to the boil phase. So my kettle's heating up nicely now. I've prepped my bittering hops, which go in at the start of the boil. They are Fugals and East Kent Goldings 14 grams of each. I always like to put in a bag, saves all the gunk, and I believe helps the clarity of the beer overall. Just waiting for this to heat up. Probably hear it hissing away. Wait for that hot break, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, we are not far off the hot break now. You can see all the proteins that are formed at the top start to wobble. We should be getting a hole any minute now. Here we go. Okay. The hole starts to appear. Just got to be careful now, I don't want to boil over. That means we are good to add a first addition of hops. I took a sample earlier when transporting from the mash tun to the boil kettle, and good news is I've managed to remove a lot of the sugars from the grain, and it looks like I've got a current alcohol content of just over 6%. So that's exactly what I was looking for. Hopefully the fermentation phase will go really well and they will ferment completely out, which will mean I'll have a decent, strong beer. Last 15 minutes of the boil, and I'm about to add my last hop addition, which is Cascade. A large amount of Styrian Goldings. This will impact the flavour, as you can see. Steaming away lovely. Last 5 minutes now, and the wort chiller's in. Just making sure it's sterilised. 2 bags of hops in there. The last addition of the flavour hops have really made a difference. I can really smell all those aromas all around the kitchen, bubbling away. Literally the final countdown, and then I can chill this baby down. All done. Wort chiller has taken temperature down to 22 degrees Celsius. Just empty the contents into my fermenting bucket. Fantastic smell coming out of this. Looks great. Love a Hobgoblin. So dying to try this and compare it to the actual product itself. Just literally got to pitch the yeast and the contents empty. Yeast pitched. Job done. Temperature just above 22 degrees. We're going to leave this to ferment. Should take about 3 or 4 days according to the instructions. I may leave it 5, but seems the easiest brew I've done yet. So let's hope for a great end product and a fantastic beer to share with a few friends, and more importantly, myself. So it's the night after my brew, and as you can see, my airlock is bubbling away nicely, quite a frantic pace. Did have a sneak peek in the night, and it was going very slow. A nice layer of Kreisling has also appeared, which indicates a good fermentation so far. A lovely smell coming out of this. It was really sweet, really healthy. I'm going to leave this for 5 days and then rack it to a secondary. That's the plan. Probably leave it in secondary for 10 days. And then After 10 days in secondary, I'm gonna convert some mini kegs. So I'll do a little video on that, and hopefully another 2 months after that, all will be ready for consuming.